This is like a first date. I love it. I should have brought like you a gift. I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Flowers.
Yeah.
Hello.
Oh, is that what it is? Is
No,
that,
I'm messing.
I was thinking like hot chocolate. I was like,
Oh, yum.
yeah,
That
right?
actually sounds
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, exactly.
And whipped cream.
What's the best hot chocolate you've ever had?
Honestly, Poland has some good chocolate in general. So like milk chocolate melted. I would literally get like a Polish Wedel, it's called.
Fidel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Chocolate melted in a microwave, like mix it like a weirdo and add some milk. So good.
Yeah, you know what I always hated? Like it was only until I got here, they just make hot chocolate with water. And it's
Because it's powder. That's the thing. That's like a fake hot chocolate. Yeah, not good. No,
yeah,
we're not doing that.
Exactly. It's like, give me milk,
The real
please.
things with milk, yeah.
Like that's how you make it. And I
Yeah.
remember my friend, like when I was young, and he was just all about the water for some reason. And then like I showed him, and he thought it was weird to put milk in there. And then like when
Makes it so much better.
And then when he tried it, he was like, oh my God.
Well, you also make it from like a real cocoa. Like,
Yeah.
right? That's what it's called, cocoa. I don't even.
Yeah. My mom has a farm in Costa Rica that like she produced cocoa. She like
No
has
way.
hot chocolate like powder and all that
So
stuff.
it's probably so good.
It is. I do enjoy it. I mean, I don't drink hot chocolate that often
obviously.
at this point in my
Yeah.
life, just because I feel like I'm trying to get away from caffeine and sugars. They
Sugars,
say
yeah.
like that ages you so quickly too.
Yeah.
Like it's so crazy to think about like that kind of stuff. And I'm just like I'm trying to stay as young as possible, for as long as possible. Do this Peter Pan thing for the rest of my life.
Listen, I don't blame you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, like I tell you though, the worst of it is sometimes I get hit on by too young of women.
Yeah. Well, I never knew you were 34, so I thought you were maybe like 30. You know, maybe a year older than
you
me.
know, I have to catch myself sometimes because I'm just like, yeah, I'm 30. And no, wait. Like you sort of forget your age sometimes. So you're just like,
It's a good thing. Listen.
yeah, it is. And then like, you know, when a 18-year-old girl hits on you, it's just like, no,
You're too young for me. Yeah, that's so funny. Oh my God.
Yeah, I mean, like, what's the youngest you ever like? Or do you just date older men?
No, actually, I used to date my age or a little bit younger. Then I recently started just like exploring a little bit older men, just because I had a hard time just getting along people my age because I am from another country and I feel like I'm just a little bit more mature if it comes to like my age group.
Of course.
This is also why I only have like 2 best friends because, you know, I
keep that inner circle tight.
Yeah, just because like not a lot of people are on the same
wavelength.
Yeah, I would say. And it's really hard to find people that are mature and have the same like principles and values and morals. So same with guys, right? Like you would think, oh, an older man would have their shit together. And most of them do probably, but I wasn't lucky enough to actually experience that myself, especially if it comes to dating. You know, at first it's always, you know, butterflies and you know, all the good stuff.
The
but
honeymoon phase.
Honeymoon phase,
yeah, of course.
And then the true colors come out. So you can answer that question properly because I feel like age does not matter at all. I think it's your life experiences and how much you're connected to yourself. And I feel like men, generally speaking, have a harder time to like reflect on their like past and their traumas. They kind of like tend to run away from that. I'm just speaking generally.
Of course.
Obviously, there are men who are like connected with their inner selves and inner child, and you know they do the self-work, self-love kind of, you know, activities throughout every single day pretty much. But generally speaking, I have only been experiencing men that run away from their problems and kind of try to push through it because I'm a man. Like I can't cry, right? Like I'm built different. Like I can't, right?
That hurts me just to hear that people still think that, because it's just like I'm so grateful. Like I have a niece, so I get to see my sister just, you know, as a mom and just as she's growing her, to let her express herself properly through emotions.
Very
of
important.
just like when she's crying, it's just like, hey, what's wrong?
Right.
Go ahead, explain it to me instead of, like, stop crying,
Right.
Be tough or whatever the,
belittling the problem.
Exactly.
A lot of parents do that where it's like, oh, it's okay. Like, let's say a child is getting bullied at school, my dad would say, oh, get it together. You're stronger than that, instead of allowing you to feel the pain, be upset and
Of
like
course.
be hurt, right? And then, okay, what's the problem? Let's analyze this. I actually come from an amazing family, and I'm forever grateful for my parents. They had me when they were very young. Yeah, 20. Thank you.
Of course.
20 and 21 years old. I mean, that's insane. So I have very young parents.
Yeah.
They didn't know what they were doing, but they definitely spoiled me emotionally with like the emotional availability and just being there for me. If I had any problem, I had.
Wow.
Yeah.
I've never heard of that being the problem of just like, we're going to spoil her. Just like, that's how I want to be with my daughter. When I ever get a daughter. It's just
so I don't think it's a problem. It's definitely a blessing. But it also kind of, how do I explain this? If your parents are too accessible to your problems, you also depend on them emotionally a lot. Like, oh, I have a problem, I have to call my mom. Or like, I have a problem, I have to go talk to my dad. It's almost like you are not incapable of handling a problem yourself.
I see what you're saying.
So when I moved here as a 19-year-old girl from Poland, it was very hard for me. It was like a shock where, all of a sudden I went from not really dealing with my own problems by myself, and I had my parents to, help me, to coming to America and be, living with a stranger family pretty much because I was an au pair.
Oh, okay. Wow. So that's the transitional point.
Yeah. I was a live-in nanny. I came here 9 years ago and lived with an amazing family, and I babysat kids. Like kids are everything to me. I love kids. But yeah, every little, inconvenience, any problem I had to deal with it by myself. And it was really hard for me emotionally and mentally, and I had to grow up very fast. It definitely was a little bit of like traumatic because again, I go from a child to an adult within one decision. Oh, I'm going to take over America. Like this brave girl, in high school was like, I'm going to America. I don't know how, but I'm going to make it happen. And I did, which is an awesome thing. And it still feels great. And I would never, ever like regret it. And I would 100 more times do the same thing. But I do believe that our parents have a lot to do with how you are in connection with your inner self. And a lot of adults in general, not just men, use their childhood and the way they were their upbringing as an excuse, right? So you don't choose your cards, right, that are dealt, but you can change that. You can change the narrative if you really want to, right? If you want to be in connection with yourself and you want to understand why are you self-sabotaging, why are you angry all the time, right? Like you need to reflect on those things. If you don't, then these problems are going to catch up to you at some point, right? And every relationship you're going to enter, it's going to kind of ruin it, long term. So that's pretty much what happened to me multiple times, unfortunately.
Oh, really? As far as your relationships, that's where you saw like the tear.
Yeah,
that
the
comes
disconnect. I've been through it. Everybody deals with traumas. Not everyone has no one has a perfect life. But I am fortunate enough to understand that I deserve more and I am a good person.
Tell them.
It's a fact.
You better know right now. Like if you're approaching Paulina, like you better come in with like A1.
Come correct.
Yeah, exactly.
Correct. Listen, I've learned throughout, all the 9 years of being here and dating multiple people, that you have to be very intentional and very direct with people, especially when you get to our age, like late 20s, oh my God, early 30s.
You're really making it worse than what it is. I'm
literally struggling with the fact that I'm going to be 29 years old. Jesus Christ. Yeah. And I remember I told myself when I was like 21, I was like, oh, I'm going to have babies. I'm going to be married. I'm going to, have all that by like 27. Did not work out, but it's okay because everything happens for you, not to you. So that's something I like to say. Maybe whoever's up there. What
I got to ask you, are you scared? Like, and this is theoretical, but like, are you scared if like you weren't able to have kids or like, go through marriage and stuff like that? Because I feel like that's also like a sold thing to everybody when they're young. Just like, this is what you have to do.
Right.
Like,
I don't think I had that mentality where I have to do it. Like I have to be married or have kids. I've always wanted to. I feel like that was just, I'm such a family person. Like I'm someone who, like, my priority is to have a family, and be connected to someone where I can move the mountains with that person. We're on the same like mindset level, or like we learn from each other daily, right? We support each other daily. That's something that I am constantly, manifesting. I wouldn't say seeking, because I got caught up into like, I realized that I was looking for things. And when you look for things, nothing really comes to you. You kind of just have to like pour into yourself, and then the universe kind of sends you everything you need and you want. Searching and like pressuring yourself for like, oh, I want kids within the next year. I better find a man within the next year. I'm getting older, blah, blah, blah. Like pressuring myself did not work well for me, but I've always wanted to have family. That's always been my priority. Money is obviously important, but it's not my highest priority. Yeah, so I've always wanted to have kids.
That's my highest priority right now.
Yeah?
It's just like, I mean, like, I invested into just my business, but like, it's funny because money is a fuel for me to gain my freedom.
Yeah, 100%.
That's how I just feel about money. And like, right now, I just feel tied down in the sense of just like, I can't provide the things that I want to the people that I want or for myself right now. Like, I'm working, thank goodness. I'm not, like, there's worse situation, of course, but like, I'm not trying to look at the other person's bowl or whatever.
Right.
But it's just more so, it's just like, I know where I stand. And for that reason, I've lost loves in my life.
Because you were focusing on chasing the bag.
Yeah. And that, and also just like, I felt more just like, I can't give you what you want. And also the fact that I don't feel married. Like, marriage is not something for me, at least currently.
I respect it 100%.
Do I think I might get married? Like, probably like in 50s or like.
If you find the right person, you will know.
Yeah, but it's so weird because like, I know I could have married those girls and I would have been happy. And like, one thing I did learn is just like, I can find balance within work and a relationship.
Yeah.
And I felt like unfortunately, I fumbled the bag. Like, and not the money bag. Just like
the love bag.
Yeah, exactly. Unfortunately, just because I was just like, no, I can't.
To focus on. See, I've struggled with it. So as someone who comes from a very family oriented. Orientated.
You got it. You nailed it. 10 right there.
10 out of 10. We're trying here in English, speaking English. It's so hard still. Oh my God.
When you say that, it's just like, I don't hear. Like today I was listening to my dad order or like talk to like somebody in English. And I swear to you, I was just like, you sound like a China man, right? like you're Latin man, but it's just like, your dialect's so thick right now. But yeah, sorry. Continue.
No, you're totally fine. So since I come from a culture that's very family driven and oriented, that's why it's such a priority for me. And I think like, so to put it in perspective, I don't know if you traveled to Europe or you like dove deeper into European culture, but European people work to live. Americans live to work. That's something I've realized recently. Everyone here is, and I'm not saying it's a bad thing, right? Like it's just a different culture. So when I started analyzing why there's such a disconnect between me and my partners, it's usually typically the same kind of problem that you just mentioned, where it's like,
of course,
as a man, right, you are supposed to provide and protect. So when you feel like you don't have enough of money to provide for that woman, why would you want to propose, right? Why would you want to marry her? Like it's almost, to me, a little bit sometimes seems selfish, right? Because that's like a hard word to throw out there, and I'll just explain it. So I'm someone who will be your ride or die. When I commit to you, it doesn't matter if you're broke or not. Or if you're rich now and then you go broke, I'm not leaving you. But that comes with commitment. And I take this word so seriously. I also take being in relationships super serious. I can be single, happy, you know, thriving, doing what I want without explaining myself, without like asking for permission, right? But so when I commit to someone,
of course,
that commitment comes with, hey, I will never leave you. Like, I'll always be there for you. I'll support you. I'll do anything that takes as a woman to bring your happiness that you're lacking. Yeah. Obviously, you're supposed to be happy by yourself as well. Yeah. But, you know, I'll be everything you want me to be. But you need to show up for me as well, obviously, right? And if it comes to money, I don't agree that men is supposed to be responsible for everything. I think it's teamwork for sure. Obviously, most men, especially old school men, think it's disrespectful if a woman tries to take out her wallet and pay for dinner. So I let men be in their masculine energy. I will always offer though. Like, I'll be like, hey, do you want me?
I would accept that. Right. I'll be honest. I've had women just pay for me. I'm just like, that's beautiful. Thank you. Like, I will not be like, just because it's like what I've learned. Yeah. Like, one thing I've learned is like, if somebody offers you a gift, it's worse to turn it down. And like, unless you have a reason to turn it down,
right,
then you're just insulting somebody. And it's just like,
I think it's a discussion. I was just grabbing lunch with my old friend today, and he was like, "Hey, I insist. I'm taking care of this." And I was just like, "Well, okay, like, thank you. Can I tip?" And he's like, "Yeah." And this is great. Like, compromise is great. I think everything in life, if it comes to relationships, should be a compromise. And just like talking, you know, first couple dates you have with someone, just like discuss what you like. Like, let's say you are a provider, and like, it's such a respect for you if a woman can just let you pay, right? Like, discuss these things. But I do believe that, you know, if a man is focused so much on chasing the bag and chasing the money, and is in relationship, and how do I explain this? Let me think about it. So,
take your time.
When you are in relationship and your primary focus is money, that woman is going to be neglected, you know? So, when you think of money, like, I bring my own money, right? And then you're bringing your own money. Why is it that you're so pressured to provide when you have someone who is willing to go half and half? Or let's say you go 70, I go 30% on expenses, or whatever. We go out for dinner. There's always a solution to every single problem, and there's always a compromise to every single problem. Now, some men have ego issues, right? So, and women too, obviously. But if it comes to finances, I think finding that balance where, okay, like, I want to provide, but I have a good girl that's not going to leave me, right? She's here for good. Like, obviously don't take her for granted, because that sucks. I've been there. Sucks.
I will give kudos to that man though, for just like, you know, I'm gonna just be a bum now. Just like, that's it.
But just understand that you are not here alone, and not all finances are on your shoulders, right?
Beautiful.
Like I said, everything is a compromise. Everything can be discussed. And
can I just ask you, in between those lines, is just is the difference for me, like, I'm okay with somebody being broke. That's perfectly okay.
Right.
The one difference though is like, where is your ambition?
Oh, 100%. I agree with that.
If you have $0 and you're working towards something, like,
good for you.
Exactly.
Eventually will come to you.
Exactly. Yes. But if you're just broke and then you have nothing, or even if you're rich and you have nothing in your life that you just like, I'm passionate about, I'm going to make this work, I'm going to do something with this. Like, I feel
you have to have passion. I agree. And you have to have the drive.
Yeah.
That's another thing. If it comes to relationships, I am someone who has been addicted to growth. Like, if I do reflect on every single year that passes. So in like the third week of December or second week of December of each year, I like reflect on everything and do like a self audit. And if I am in the same place that I was in December of last year, I'm failing. I'm doing something wrong. Something has to change. Ooh. Not everyone is like that though. Yeah. And that's also okay. But I have learned that I've so far have been in relationship with people that like the idea of growth, like the fact that I bring that like strong energy into the relationship. I'll push you to do better. I'll help you to do better. But then they can't catch up onto me because I grow so fast. Where
talk your shit.
I'm trying to be respectful. Goddamn.
No. We ain't here for the respect. We're here for the title. Like, that's it.
It just sucks. Like it was like a dead weight to me, you know. As messed up as it sounds, like I've had great experiences with my exes. Like I had so much fun. Oh my God, like I've learned so much. But if it comes to the growth perspective and like how you said, you know, there's one thing of being broke and doing nothing about it, and then there's one thing of being broke but working towards something. That's huge, right? And
of course,
like for me, I was building my online business, and you know, it wasn't paying me as much as my private jet job that I was in sales for.
I didn't even know private jet job.
I was in aviation on like the back end. I was a private jet broker. It was a interesting job for sure. It was a 24/7 job, very demanding, very time consuming, but I wasn't working for myself, right? So it didn't feel right. Like I would go to work from 9 to 5 building somebody else's dreams. Then I would get home and my clients would reach out and they would be like, oh, Paulina, I need a charter tomorrow. Can you work on this? And typical market search would take me about 3 hours. And then let's say I would provide them with multiple aircraft options and they would say, oh, sorry, it's too expensive. So now I just wasted another three hours of my life working on somebody else's dreams. Yeah. No. So then I started coming home and started working on my online business. And where I'm getting at is I didn't really receive a lot of support from my partners because, oh, you're working from home. You're not even making money. Like, what the hell you think you're doing? You know, like go and work, right? Like physically go and work. So the mindsets just didn't match up. Like who I've been with in the past 9 years of me being here, none of them had really like a growth mindset. And just progressing, like being 1% better every single day. I read books.
I love that. I've told that to so many people. But continue. You read books and what?
Yeah, like reading books, you're a loser. Listening to podcasts, you're a loser. Like, oh, who listens to podcasts? Who you think that a book is gonna save you? I can bring out
statistics that most well-educated people listen to podcasts. Most people, read books, especially about like, you know, money, entrepreneurship, and it's mindset. And it's such a like. First, you obviously have to shift your mindset, but let me sidetrack that just because I wanted to ask you, how good are breakups? Like, yes, they're sad, but how good is it as
a few?
Yeah, right. That's what I'm talking about.
The glow up is fucking sick.
Yeah, there you go.
I will tell you, like, people see me now and they look at me as like something changed, and I'm like, really? I'm like getting nervous. I'm like, well, what changed? What's happening? And they're like, you're glowing. I'm like, oh, this makes me so happy because the breakups that I've gone through were like depressing, so depressing, where like you know me by now, like I'm very high energy, very happy person. I could not get out of my bed for weeks. It was bad. And then I would look at myself in the mirror, I'd be like, come on, Paulina, like you can do so much better. Like just believe it. Cause you know, breakups break you, especially if you stayed with someone longer that you were supposed to, then you kind of like exposing yourself to even bigger pain because you are holding on to hopes versus what you actually see, right? Like,
I pray that I didn't do that to no girl. I really do, but I probably did.
Listen, no one's perfect. I'm definitely not perfect either. You know, even my recent relationship, I've realized that I should have let go sooner. And I was kind of blaming my ex for not letting me go sooner. He kind of knew that he wasn't going to give me what I was looking for. But the idea of hurting me by letting me go was in his head, because we then talked about the whole what went wrong kind of thing after a breakup.
Of course.
So I
a nice little Yelp review.
Like everybody wants, you know, closure, you know, and not everybody can give it to you. And I was fortunate enough to get it.
I feel like I heard this before in another podcast. Love it. But like the person that breaks you can't fix you, you know? And on top of that, I
agree with that.
Yeah. And like on top of that though, there's a difference between wanting closure and wanting feedback, you know?
Okay.
Where like,
interesting.
Like in the sense of just like, I want this person to make me feel better. No. What did I do wrong? What are the things that I need to work on myself for future relationships that I can watch out on? Like, and I had an ex just recently reach out to me.
Asking?
And yeah, like, because she's had issues with drinking. I'm not, you know, like.
Yeah, there are problems.
Yeah, exactly. Like, I'm just glad that she's in a better space. But like, her looking back and we had an awful breakup, but like her looking towards me as a place that she can trust,
right?
That she can just rely. Like, I know you're gonna tell me the truth, and it's like I've always tried to do unconditional love, regardless. Even like to all my exes, which that brings up another question from me to you is just like, how do you feel about an ex returning?
So it depends what stage we're in. If it comes to our relationship, right? So if it's a beginning, I can kind of understand that, right? Because there might be still some closure that one person or feedback that another person needs, which kind of like right now would be probably a red flag for me. Because like, why are you entering a new relationship if you still haven't figured out, like you still haven't healed, right? A lot of people tend to jump around, and I was the one actually to like, you know, get under to get over to get under. I don't know how you say it. I'm guilty of it.
Put you in the back.
I am literally so guilty of it. It's crazy because I love being with that person, you know, and I had a hard time being alone. That also comes with like the abandonment trauma that I went through because of my first ex here, which I went to therapy for, and I healed for the most part. But, you know, those traumas will creep up on you here and there. But yeah, exes, nah, that should not be allowed. I mean, it depends on the relationship you have with that person, and also how comfortable are you going to make me around that person. And I would have to see in person, like, what are the vibes? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't say like, oh, I'm going to go meet up with her at a restaurant for dinner.
Right.
Like more just like, okay, like discussion of just like, hey, this person hit me up. Like, do you want to come with me to lunch? And then, you know, just meet her and just talk.
I would ask you, like, oh, what is there to talk? Like, why do you feel like...
Yeah, and that's where it's just like, she hit me up for these reasons. Like, you know, like, whether it's just like financial help or something like that, which, you know, even to me, it's just like, I'm okay with it because like, just, I always felt like I want to just make sure I can help people regardless. And I'm also super petty. Just like, so I'm just like,
I try not to be. It's hard.
No, I definitely am petty. I want to be petty. Like,
oh my God.
Like I've thought of things that's just like, oh, like if I get rich, I'm gonna definitely just like buy wherever she's like the apartment, like complex that she's at. Just
kick her out.
No. I'm gonna let her stay there. I'm gonna like free of charge too. Just like, and that way he knows, just like, yeah, you ain't nothing to me. Like compared to me.
You're so funny.
Yeah,
See, I used to be like that. I don't waste energy on that anymore.
That's good.
With the exes, I think it's just it's per case kind of. It really depends, right? Like, I was talking to this guy after my recent relationship, and, you know, he asked me, he's like, hey, are you still in contact with your ex? And I was like, yeah, I am. It's just like formalities and documents. We lived together, right? There was no like sexual conversation going on or like going back and forth whether we should come back to each other or something like that. It was just like, you know, hey, are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. Are you okay? Yes, I'm okay. You know, we lived together for over 2 years. We were together for 3.5. Like, you can't just break up with someone and expect the whole world to or expect your own from your own self to just be done. Like, they were part of your life, especially when you live with someone. You know, it's 24/7 kind of situation. So it definitely takes time to like fully cut your ex off, especially after like a recent breakup. But what I'm trying to say is, you know, it depends on what kind of conversations you're having with that ex, you know, and how like, it's your job to make your current partner comfortable with the idea of having your ex around for a little bit, right? The security. Yeah. because it's just shady. Why are we opening up a can of worms, right? Like I would ask you like, hey, why do you need to have connections with that person or like stay in contact? You know, that would be my first question. And then we'll go from there. I'm very easy if it comes to relationships, and
and open.
Very open. I'm very understanding. I understand that, you know, the way I think is not what you will think, or it might be, right? But I understand that there's no right and wrong. Everybody has their own perspective on things, and it's just what you are willing to tolerate, and if it's your boundary or it's not, right? You have to, but that comes also with communication, right? And like knowing what you want from your partner, what you will and communicating what you're going to tolerate, what you're not going to tolerate, what is the absolute red flag, what it's not, right? Like just be very open about your needs. But nowadays people don't know what they want, and then they just go through motions, and you know, they like idea of being with someone. I felt multiple times like a trophy wife, you know, or like not wife, because obviously I wasn't a wife.
Well, I did. You are a trophy wife. Don't worry. Yeah.
No, but like I didn't want to, right? I would rather be a treasure, you know, hidden gem, like, you know, take care of me, polish me, you know, like, and not just be out there. Because, you know, everybody just like the concept of, oh, I'm with Paulina, right? Like Paulina is this and that. I don't even think so highly of myself, you know, and everyone just puts me on that pedestal, which I'm grateful for. Thank you. Like, I guess I am a good person, but like, there's more to it than just putting me up there on the pedestal. Like you have to work for it. I'm not an easy person to deal with, but I also know what I bring to the table. And like I said before, I am going to be a ride or die. Yeah. Do I need some extra hugs, you know, here and there? Or like I'll cry hysterically over something that you might think is so dumb, but like, just give me a hug. You know, that's all I really want at the end of the day. Like, I don't think I'm that complicated, but people think that it's just, I'm so much to handle apparently. And I've been like analyzing this a lot. And I think it's just, I've been attracting people that are, I'll say that leeches.
I was going to just say like, you know, they're not ready for this.
No, apparently my energy is very, addictive, and a lot of people want to be around me because I'm very positive, and I always, even in the worst situation ever, I'm like, okay, what's good in here? Like, what are we getting here? Like, the universe is testing me right now. Like, this fucking sucks, but like, there's a lesson in here, you know? Like, I don't victimize myself. I don't.
Beautiful. Love that.
Yeah. But it comes with a lot of work on yourself, right? Therapy, mindset work. I recommend everybody to go to therapy at some point, because this world is a fucked up place right now, and with everything that's happening around us, I think everybody should have some form of a guidance, whether it's a therapist or life coach, mentor. It has helped me a lot, but yeah, I feel like I'm like wandering away from the topic, but long story short, I think that exes, everything that's in the past should stay in the past. Unless it's like a business exchange. If you know, you have to talk to them because they have your documents or whatever that is, go ahead and do that. But once that's done, that's done. That's also with me. Like, I would never take my ex back. I will fight for this relationship until I'm actually dead almost. I hate to say it. I am working on that. Like, I'll fight to the point where like I am kind of like I lose myself a little bit. Not a healthy way of being in a relationship. But this just shows how much of a fighter I am. Like, and I'm not going to give up on you over small inconvenience, right? Or like a argument or misunderstanding. But yeah, I haven't heard or seen someone doing that, the same thing for me, you know? And it kind of sucks. Why are you committed to somebody if you can't actually commit and just be focused on that person and give them the world because they're giving you the world? Ugh, I can talk hours about that. But yeah, no exes in my present or future. Definitely not. I'll hold on to you. I'll fight for you. I'll try to find solutions to every problem. I'll compromise. I'll do everything, you know, stretch left and right. But once it's done, it's done. Like, you're never coming back in my life, you know? And it's funny because I actually have a great relationship with my very first boyfriend in Poland. Every time I go to Poland, which is once a year, I try to see him. You know, we kind of we were younger, you know, I dated him from like 15
but
till...
see, this is exactly what I mean about exes. Like, there's two types of exes, right? Like, where you're just like, this person you shouldn't be around.
Right.
Like, I absolutely, and I agree with that. But then there's this person is just like, it's just somebody that I was with, but now we're just in two different parts of our life,
Right.
and we respect each other. Where it's
Yeah.
like now there's almost a friendship of just like, a good memory, a friendship, but like we move past this.
Yeah, so I guess it depends on the breakup too, and like if there's any harm done to you, because sometimes people still keep their exes around even though they got really screwed over by them. That's you're just self-sabotaging, and honestly, like not letting go of something that hurt you. Like you need to like want more for yourself, right? But if it comes to that, my specific situation with my ex from Poland, I mean, it's been 10 years since we like broke up,
Yeah.
He's in Poland, I'm in America. There's nothing obviously going on. But when I see him, it just like we talked about the past, how cute we were, how silly we were, like how we would do things differently now. And it's like a growth experience. It's amazing. I always grab coffee and like cheesecake with him, and we have great conversations.
That's what I'm saying. It's just like it all, like the context obviously always matters, but
right.
That's why, like, depending on what type of ex you're talking about, that's where
I guess I agree. And then it also comes with respect, right? So if both of us are in relationships, before I even meet up with him, I'm like, hey, make sure you tell your girlfriend, make sure she's okay with it.
Yes.
I'm even willing to meet her. Like, I don't want to cause any problems, because at the end of the day, you're building a future, right? I'm your past. So like there needs to be a respect. Every single relationship I've had here, they all knew that was going to happen. Like I was going to go to Poland and see my ex. I don't even want to call him ex, because we're children and we're just friends, but we don't talk a lot. That's my thing. Like he can be my present and future because we don't talk on a daily, right? We just check in sometimes, but there's no like sexual conversations. There's nothing disrespectful to my current relationship. So I think that's acceptable. But I also think it's all about communicating, right?
Yes.
And just making sure that this isn't like crossing the boundary with your current partner.
Of course. Now, let me ask you this. What is the, stance, or how do you feel the effects that social media has on your relationship, especially like the current one, past ones? Like, how does that affect?
So it's really hard for me to say, because I am a very active person on social media. I run an online beauty business. You see me daily.
We all seen her. Let's just get that clear. Like, you seen her, I seen her. We all seen her. It's just like,
oh my
she
God,
don't
so
stop.
No, I don't stop. But I also know how to balance it out. Right. So I don't use social media to scroll and look for distractions. We get sucked in sometimes scrolling and wasting time. But I don't use social media to creep. I don't use social media to, let me look up this guy that I saw at the bar. Yeah, like I don't exchange my social media with people or phone numbers. Like I don't do that. I use social media strictly to get inspired, motivated, and create content for my audience. Now,
but isn't it funny that you built your social media like that, and it's beautiful, and like, it's elegant. Like that's the one thing I will say about you. It's like the elegance that you have is so great.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Oh, of course. But it's just so crazy to me that like the people that consume media that you're sort of like paroling, like, hey, don't do it like this. Those are sort of the people that fuel your business as well time. Just like sort of like a drug dealer in an addict situation.
It is a little bit. Yeah, it definitely is. But what I do on social media is I really try to inspire people to just be better and do better. And I am my authentic self. So I don't just sit there and show positive things all the time, because we all know social media can be very fake.
Of course.
And a lot of us compare each other, like compared to other people looking so perfect. They're done up. The Photoshop is just crazy. So I really try to be authentic self. And if I have a pimple, I'll show it. Right. If I have a shitty day, I'm going to talk about it, not to attract attention. It's more so just be like, hey, I'm a human. I'm not just out here to try to tell you my life is perfect. Like, this shit fucking sucks. And let me tell you, when I was going through my recent breakup, I wasn't like going out there and be like, oh my God, I'm single. Like, this man is a piece of shit. Like, he broke my heart. I've never said that, but I did show that, hey, I'm going through it. Like, I might not be on social media for a couple of days. You know, I'm in the process of moving, and I all of a sudden got bombarded with a bunch of messages, and the guys just need to like relax.
Was there a
first
bunch
of all.
of dick pics too?
Like, no, oh my God, thank God. Thank God they were, and I will roast your ass for that for sure.
I just wonder, like, because women always say, it's like, yeah, I just get dick pics every day.
It's like, the worst.
Really?
Like, dicks are not pretty, first of all. Let's just put it out there. Vaginas are not pretty either.
Oh, no, it's like, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a pretty thing to look at unless, I guess, you love that. Then good for you. But, no, I got just, like, bombarded, and I'm like, yo, I just broke up with my ex. The last thing I want to do is talk to you, like, not to be rude, but just like relax, like, give me some space. So I get it, you still attract that attention from the wrong people, but I've learned how to filter through it, and by being authentic, I think people started respecting me more, and that's why they buy what I offer, right? That's why people buy you, not what you like, not your product, right? They buy you. And the only way
that Gary Vee that said that?
Yeah. Which is true. It is freaking true. I'm Love like it. 11, you know.
Absolutely.
Like I've lived through it, and people always tell me like, oh my God, you inspire me so much. And I'm like, oh, this just made my day. Cause I'm not even trying to, but like, I know that people struggle with the same things, right? So if I can go out there and tell them about this, you know, let's say 80% of people are going to scroll through it. That's fine. You're not my audience. Like, you can watch what I do, but like that's not who I'm targeting. I'm targeting these people that are going through the same thing right now. If it comes to relationships, from my personal experience, social media has been tough because I've caught my ex sis multiple times talking to other females on social media, liking multiple like nude pictures, you know, but then not giving me attention in bed. So like,
sorry, I just find that hard to believe. But at the same time,
crazy?
But at the same time, I get it. As a like, you know, I hate to say it, as a man, I get it.
No, that's like, good. Tell me, because I always just you guys are very visual. And I get it, but like,
but like I've heard this, like, you know, from a girl, like an ex of mine, actually, she said this recently. It's just like, you know, men are like programmed that way, and it's like that red pill kind of stuff like that, which I'm just like, but that's the whole point of a relationship, is like for you to overcome these urges obstacles, that are just like, that's just like, anybody can go cheap, but the whole point is you don't. Like, you know like,
better.
Exactly.
You know?
It's just like, like, of course.
But that also comes with security as a man. You have to be secure with within yourself and respect yourself enough to respect another person that you're with. You know what I mean? Like, it's almost like, everybody can go cheat, but you're not going to cheat because you know better. You know
what I feel? What I fear? I'll be honest. It'll be just like that I'm just gonna, like, not like retire my dick, sort of, in a way. Just like that's how I feel like the woman's gonna, like, as she gets older, she's just like, yo, you gotta give me that when I want it. And I was just like, lady, I'm sorry.
No, but you have so many like pills you can take nowadays.
I don't want to take pills. I don't want to take shit. Like, I don't want to tell a girl to be like taking birth control pills. Like, it's so bad for you. It's just like, you don't have to do that shit.
Right. You don't have to. No.
I mean, like, we can just, you know, whatever we have to do. If I got to lick a butt, then so be it.
You can spice things up differently.
Exactly.
I mean, it really comes with communication and comprehension. Like, sit your girl down, be like, listen, it's time for me that I'm like struggling down there, you know, like, you know, what are we doing here?
I don't know what to do with these. Like, honestly, like, my hand's terrible, but like, I just go out. Like, I love
eating. A good girl will tell you what to do. Don't worry.
Like, that's why I'm so happy about one of my exes. Cause like, she showed me like how she likes to be eaten out. And I love eating out. I absolutely, 100%. I'm down for it.
Good.
Like, anytime. But
that's a blast.
Yeah,
for
but
sure.
I've also seen, I've been with women that are sort of like in their mind about getting eaten out. They don't feel comfortable with it.
Yeah, back then it was a thing for sure.
Yeah,
it was just like, only penetration, like, that's how we're supposed to do these things. But obviously nowadays things are different, and thankfully, Jesus Christ, because let me tell you, for those of you who don't know me fully, I've always been straight, right? Like I never.
I feel like there's a butt coming, but
I never thought I was gonna be with a woman. I ended up with a woman.
Oh, okay. Wow.
For longer
Juicy
than
details, folks. I did not expect this.
This is authentic.
I was trying to keep
goddamn.
this PG, but okay, let's do it. Let's go.
But my point is why I'm bringing this up. I mean, she was like absolute psychopath. I had fun with her. Don't get me wrong. But she turned out to be a biggest cheater of them all. And her karma got her ass anyway, because her current wife cheated on her the day before they got married. So
they say that lesbians married are the most, I don't want to say violent, I'm getting the statistics wrong, but like the most domestic abuse calls, like out of
they're crazy.
It's just like,
she pushed me to the point I was crazy too. Oh my God, it was just nuts. But anyway,
the sex wild though.
Yeah. What I'm getting at is that she has taught me what I like and what I don't like. She has helped me explore my own body. And it definitely benefited in my future relationships and sexual, experiences where I told the men what to do. Like, I hate women who are like, oh, he sucks in bed. I'm like, bitch, did you tell him what to do? Why do you expect him to know?
Did you communicate that properly with like how you like to be touched?
Right.
Do you know how you like to be touched?
Most of them don't. Most of them don't. And listen, nothing wrong with that. Just like go explore it a little bit. Get yourself a rose from Amazon that sucks your clit,
I've seen those.
That thing is dangerous.
I've been getting that whole like massage, the tokina or whatever, and like my buddy told me, it's like just put your finger and like
that thing is fucking wild. I will tell you, I had a hard time, getting pleased and just even like being able to finish. It was hard for me.
That's common.
That is very common. Until I learned about my body, and then I was just also shy at the beginning and like didn't know, and I was typical like a vanilla type of girl in bed.
I'm just imagining you with a whole masochist, just like the whole leather straps, like come here, baby. He's just like, okay,
let me smack your ass. Oh my God,
we're
so
gonna
funny.
do some pegging tonight. Just like,
listen, I'm down for whatever. Like I've learned.
Have you ever done pegging? Like,
no.
It feels like you'd be like, oh, I'd be down. Just like,
listen, I would be down for anything. Like I feel like after my last relationship, where we like really were just roommates at some point for a whole year of our relationship, we did not touch each other. Like it was bad. Yeah. I wish we had taken a break from each other, because I think it was just like too much at some point. And I still have love for him. Like I said, I always learned a lot from every relationship, but we did not have sex for literally a year. How can someone go a year without sex? I don't know, but that just proves
I think I've been like 2 or 3.
No, but like in a relationship though?
Oh, no.
Right. Like you're physically in a relationship, trapped in a relationship technically, because like you're not even being intimate with each other. And what sucked for me was it wasn't even my fault. So I was trying to, fix the problem, but the problem wasn't me. Right. And like I was trying to help him and whatever, because he ended up cheating on me. So,
fuck.
Yeah. And he felt bad about it. It wasn't like an intentional thing, I don't think. But we were trying to fix it, but
I
it
gotta
just
ask. Like, I don't know if I can ever believe that it's not you just fell in the pussy. Like that's just what ended up happening.
No, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, but I
think it's like a lot comes to it.
Yeah.
I know he regretted it, and one of the reasons why we didn't have sex is because he couldn't look at me anymore, because he knew he hurt someone who is so beautiful. Yeah,
I like that you ended up with so beautiful.
No, that's what he told me. He told me that. I mean, he can tell me probably lies, whatever. Like at the end of the day,
no, but it's true. It's
right.
True.
I do.
So.
No, thank you. No, but I'm saying like he could have just simply just say it for me to feel better. I guess he could have.
But I feel like at that point it's like, why am I gonna lie anymore?
Right.
That's I hear you. I hear
Yeah.
you
So this kind of sucked. But wait, what were we talking about though? Because I just like went wondering.
Yeah. It's all right.
As always.
You went from basically why you weren't sleeping together. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Having sex, not having sex.
Yeah.
And my point was like, holy shit, I was so loyal still. Like I didn't go and cheat, you know, and I didn't have sex for all these times. So I started
coochie screaming like,
yeah, definitely screaming. You know, but I still didn't cheat. I still didn't entertain anybody.
Yeah.
I could have, and I had multiple occasions, but I was like, no, until you're done, you cannot do it. And to be honest, you know, I got a bunch of toys and I was just exploring, you know, and it was fabulous. I mean, I was still miserable.
You know what's beautiful is like women get to do that. Like, you know, I'm going to get all these toys. And then like for a man, I'm going to get a toy. And it's just like, oh, that's gross.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you guys can jerk off, which is not the greatest, but like there are ways of.
No, let me correct you. It is the greatest.
Great?
Oh,
okay.
Absolutely. Some days I just prefer jerking off than just like, I don't.
It's attention release. And that's what I respect. Like I used to be like, oh, why is my man jerking off? That's annoying. Like, why can't we just have sex? But sometimes maybe like he doesn't want to have sex and that's okay, right? Just go and jerk off to somebody else's pictures. I don't even fucking care. As long as you're not sticking your dick in another vagina, go ahead and jerk off. Like, if that's something that's gonna, if that's something you want to do, but you're going to stay loyal to me, then that's totally fine. But yeah, toys are great. Every woman should explore their own body and know what she wants before she expects a man to fulfill her in bed. Like I hate that. Like, oh, he sucks a bed or his dick is small. Bitch, you don't even come from penetration.
Could you give me some tips right now on just like what you would like wiki like how would you do that? Like,
I think it's a personal thing, preference. Yeah, I think like obviously the clit is where you're supposed to be.
Well, like some people have told me it's like you like hook it, like you once you go inside and then just go to like.
Well, because there's an internal spot, right? G spot, and there is a clit outside. So it really depends on what your girl likes. This is why it's important to just like ask her if she doesn't want come first and tell you like what is it that you like. Show me, you know, I'll show you what I have, but like I want to please you. So if you want to have a great experience.
Of course.
Currently, then you have to tell me what you want, and I would tell you exactly what you want, what I want. I'll show you what I want. I'll push your head where you need to be. You know, it's a learning experience, but it also comes with communication. And I feel like a lot of people are very scared of talking about sex. And
you know what's crazy though? Like I do believe that like from a point in time that we are in, like if you look back, just mental health. Nobody wanted to talk about that. Now we're in a point where like it's huge to talk about. It's important. And then this opening of like sexuality, which I agree, like we should be open about it. We should discuss it. Like luckily my parents were very open to about me, to me. But and then I just feel that's gonna also avalanche forward in a good way. Good way. Obviously, there's always extremes that just like yeah, don't do that near kids. Yeah, don't do that. Like, you know, take it down a notch. Like, it's good to explore and it's good to talk about it. But, like, I do feel like there are limits where, like, you know, you should just, like, okay, let's.
Well, don't talk about everything on the first date, right? Like, there's, like, slowly.
Well, we kind of destroyed that.
We're past that.
Love it.
I'm also very open if it comes to that stuff. Because, like, if I want something, I've learned in life you can't expect people to just bring it. Like, what? Like, you tell them, first of all. Like, don't have them mind read. Like, what? Are we 18 or are we...
You're
like
such
older.
A prize for just saying that. Just like,
I hate it. Like, stop expecting shit from people. Like, you know, tell them what you want. Like, it would be nice if he just did it but on his own. Like, how the fuck does he supposed to know? Like, you're a different girl. Like, I hate it. You know, it gets me so mad because people expect. Like, even recently, I was talking to this guy and he just like gave me the world. He wrote love letters to me. He gave me amazing gifts, like very thoughtful things. But his love language was gift giving. My love language is touch and quality time. So I appreciated his gifts. They make me feel great.
Of course.
But at the same time, oops, sorry.
It's so good. So good.
Wait, how do I fix that? So
it's up. It felt your touch.
So what the heck was I saying?
Gift giving.
Oh, gift giving. Yeah, thank you. Yeah. Jesus Christ, my brain is fried.
I'm listening to you.
Good,
I got 2 ears.
That's okay, good. So, I appreciated all of that, but that wasn't my love language. So my cup was still not filled in that relationship. And he then started asking me for reciprocation. And I was just like, bro, are you doing this out of your pure generosity, or are you fucking doing this because you expect me to all of a sudden write you love letters? I'm sorry, I'm just not, like, I've never written a love letter. I wrote like notes and stuff, but like, or like acts of service, and it was a long distance kind of relationship. I'm like, shit, how do I provide? Like, I'm such a considerate person. Like, I will give you my entire world if you're next to me. I've never been with someone long distance. I mean, I have with my current ex. He used to deploy, but like, for him, he was happy with a care package. I would give him freaking Jameson and a bottle of like ginger ale, and closed it off, and he was happy, but with the current guy, he was just like looking for reciprocation. I'm like, bro, stop doing things that you want in return. Like, I hate that shit, and then like he'll be like, oh, I sent him he was like a plant guy, so I sent him this plant. It's like a palm tree that has I don't remember the name of it. In Polish we say like an elephant foot, and it had like curls. Like,
how would you say it in Polish?
Jesus Christ, you put me on the spot. Stopa słonia.
Okay, stopa słonia.
Słonia, yeah.
Beautiful.
So it had like curly leaves. So I meant to say by sending it to him that, hey, like every time you water that plant, look at me because I have curly hair, It was like very thoughtful in my head. To me, it's super right. To me, it's like super cheesy, but like I knew he liked it, so I provided him with what his love language was.
Of course.
But it wasn't enough. It was just always fucking something. People just need to stop expecting. I think it's hard because when you commit to someone, you kind of like want something back, right? Like you want to be loved, whatever it is. You want to be respected, obviously.
I still don't know my love language.
Okay. Well, I think I have it all, to be honest. Maybe that's why I'm complicated.
I feel like everybody has
a little bit of everything.
Yeah, of course.
But primarily, like if I had to tell you, what is it that I absolutely need for me to be happy in a relationship is definitely a quality time. Like this conversation, right? Like I like literally looking at each other, we can have literally the most stupid conversation or we can have the greatest.
We are. Don't you worry.
But just spending time with no phone. Phones are such distractions. Like social media, like we discussed before, it ruined so many relationships, and I mean it ruined mine, obviously. But that just comes with like.
But how good did it feel? Like I've never been to this point in a relationship where I was just like, I have, but like just not to the full, where it's like we're posting photos of ourselves like on social media. I feel like that's such a sweet little thing.
I love it.
Right? I love it. It has to be. Like,
it feels so good, especially for someone who is so active on social media. Like my first thing is like, oh my God, I can't wait to show my man, to the world. Like I'm proud to have him, and
I've been in situationships where it's just like, yeah, let's chill, bro. Like, I was just like ouch. Okay.
Yeah, it's so weird. So, my ex, he used to post me a lot, and then he like stopped posting me. So like when you give someone a treatment and then you take it away, they're gonna question it, obviously, right? And now women get in their head and like, what's wrong with me? Like, am I chubby? Am I this? Does he not love me? Da 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 da. So that little thing was making me super happy.
But it's the little things too.
Right.
Like they actually said
take a picture, post it. Like it's not that hard. Oh no, I have chubby cheeks. Are you fucking kidding me? Yeah. It's really, that's like, obviously everybody's insecure about something. Like I'm not a perfect person. I have my own insecurities. But if I know that my man wants a picture with me, whether I look shit on this picture or not, go ahead and post me, because it's gonna make you happy and it's not the end of the world. But that also comes with the fact that even though I have insecurities, I am also a very secure person. It sounds fucking stupid, but like, what I'm saying is like, someone posting a picture of my right, side of my face. Like I hate my right side of my face.
I'm glad you know it though.
Yeah. If you post it, I'm going to be pissed for a second, but then I'm going to get over it because it's not the end of the world, right? It made him happy. That's all that matters. Like at the end of the day, I'm not trying to impress the whole world. I'm trying to impress my man. Right. So, taking a little picture, like that's cute. That's my girl, like, it's like validating a little bit too.
Well, they said that basically one of the big determining factors if a relationship will last or not is if both couples can enjoy like the little things.
Yep,
like,
I agree with you.
Like if you can't, like if you, and like looking back at past relationships, I'm like, yeah, I'm such an idiot. Like I really am a dickhead when it comes down to it, because and I hate myself for it. I really do. Just looking back at those moments where like they were just cherishing a little moment, like sharing a song with me, and I would just shit it on it. I was like, "Fuck that! Like, this is stupid. I'm out of here!" Like
That's
it's just
so
like,
bad.
yeah. I was just like, I'm so, and that's why I'm so grateful for my exes, because they've really turned me into a better man.
That's good.
And like at the end of the day, that like the women that I truly love, like now they're like married and they have kids. As far as sorry, that's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Moving things around.
Yeah. But having that type of like seeing them do that, and like they deserve it. I wish them the best.
Yeah.
And I hope like they keep like whoever they're with, like they keep them happy, because they wanted that so much, and I wish I could have given them. But I knew from that I was just like ruining my own relationships because I can't cherish those little things with that person.
It really comes down to little things. And I'll tell you, we get caught up into like daily life and just going through the motions. And we really, as a society, we stopped being present. We're either in the future or in the past. I don't know if you noticed that. But I think just finding yourself like sitting here and being like, oh my God, I love this pink color. You know, just observing the room makes you grounded.
This is pink to you? Okay.
Well, this is pink. No? Maybe not.
I would say it's purple. You guys tell us in the comments. So just like what color this is.
Am I colorblinded? God damn it. I mean, it might be like the walls look purple, but the light when you look down is kind of pink. Anyway, I was whatever. It's a perspective, you know?
Yeah, of course.
But just grounding yourself more, and maybe just like being grateful. What I've done when I caught myself being a little bit less humble than normal, because I do come from a very humbling environment. You know, I would write down 3 things that I'm grateful for. And let's say I have the most shitty day ever and nothing is fucking going my way. Finding those 3 things that you're grateful for is impossible. Like you'll sit there for 10 minutes like, fuck this shit. Like I hate everybody. I hate how I look. It's so many, the list of what you hate is so long, but then what you love and what you're grateful for is so tiny. So it does comes down to basic things. Like I'm grateful that I have a roof over my head. I'm grateful that my family's not here and it sucks most of the time. But I have my family, like my friends are there. They love me. Like I don't need to be loved by a man. You know, that was my thing in the past. Now, like I don't need that. Like I'm loved by people that have been there for me forever, and that's what matters. So what I'm trying to say is when you catch yourself not appreciating little things, start just writing down 3 things daily. What are you grateful for? Even if you can't find it, just go back to like the basics, right? Like, oh shit, I'm grateful that I'm healthy. Like I can get up. Like I'm grateful that I woke up. Like so many people didn't wake up, and that will make you appreciate small things for sure. And it will help you in the future.
And I appreciate this conversation. Like, it's so fire. Yeah, no, I appreciate you, Paulina.
Thanks for having me. This is so fun.
Yeah, we fucked up the intro, but
you guys still don't know who I am. Don't worry, you'll learn.
You want to just say hello?
Sure.
Look at that camera and tell them.
Hey guys, I am Paulina. I am from Poland. I moved to America 9 years ago. Crazy girl, you know, with big dreams. I've watched enough American movies when I was little with my dad, and I've always wanted to come to America, specifically to New York. And made it. I freaking wanted my American dream to come true, and it started rough. It was like American horror a little bit for me.
I think that's every story start, and that's the good way, because you know what? That's how a movie works. Shit. And then great.
Happy ending.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep.
Yeah.
And you know, I came here as an au pair. I was a live-in nanny with a an amazing family. I lived my life here, live it up for sure to the fullest. And then I went on my own. After 2 years of being an au pair, I went back home and kind of like wanted to go to university. I got into all the universities I applied to. Ooh. However, I missed Long Island, so I applied for student visa. They gave it to me right away. I came back to the States. Little did I know that when you're not a resident, you have to pay double tuition in colleges.
Fuck.
So that sucked. So I like didn't go to, colleges that I wanted to attend. And also I didn't have any financial help from my parents. Mm-hmm. So I got into hospitality industry, which I'm really good at because that's where I come from. I come from a very like touristy mountain town. So I turned into a bartender, waitress, then I went into aviation. Then, I've tried it all, I think, because I'm a big believer that any opportunity that comes around, you're supposed to say yes to, and just try it because you might regret not trying it. So might as well just give it a shot. But yeah, I'm a person of a lot of different talents, but I haven't figured out what is that one talent that I really want to master yet.
I think you're a master of all.
I tried. Jesus, thank you. That's so nice.
I just feel like
try. It gets overwhelming.
Yeah, but one of the things that I love about you, like, and this is like a standout trait, and it might be vanity on top of it, but more so just like I love your style.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah, like the wear that you every single time I see you in a photo, I see you anywhere, I see you just styled out, and not in like.
I think that's Polish thing, honestly.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, like
some swaggy Polies.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just like it's a good thing and a bad thing. Like you wouldn't leave home without looking decent. Like here,
you would think so, but there's some people.
No, here in America, you wear sweatpants. I wear sweatpants now. I'm guilty. I'll wear sweatpants, no makeup, go to the store. But why wouldn't I? Why can't I just be normal? Why can't I be me, natural, right?
Well,
so like,
I think you in sweatpants is still above a lot of people. First of all, and then secondly, though, just
Thank
like sweatpants, I feel like there is a style to them that you can't. You like. There's now
you
like
can slay the game in sweatpants.
This isn't dad bods wearing sweatpants with grease and all that shit. It's
so let me say pajama pants. Like I remember going to college here and I like walked into the classroom, whatever, and I saw a bunch of people in pajama pants. I was like, is this a fucking joke? Like I was like, are we like where are we? Like get it together, because that's where I come from, where like you're always supposed to be dolled up and look nice and like at least mascara on, which is kind of like shitty, to be honest. Like there's always a pressure about the way you look, and I feel like Latin country is countries are very similar, and culture in general, you have to look the part. You can't never like let people see you like sick or something. So sickening, honestly. So I actually like that part about America, that you can just be yourself. You can just go and bum it and like no one's gonna say anything, but I appreciate the compliment on the style. I still try to, look decent.
I will say this, like after I dated this girl from Cali, like I think it's more of a New York thing because like we don't care. That's our style. Like
really
where it's just like, nah, this bummy look, that's my style. That's how I'm rocking it. That's it. Like versus like what she told me in California, it's just like a lot of people judge you on like what you wear, and like you have to like be conscious of that. And I'm just like, we don't care.
No,
like she was.
They'll say stuff about your look here, but they really like it takes them 2 seconds to comment and then they move on. Like it's like nothing really happened.
And then like you just tell them suck my dick and just like keep it moving.
Yeah,
just,
no, seriously. I mean, I will tell you, America definitely has taught me not to give a fuck about
I feel
anything.
Like that is America right there. We don't give a fuck.
No, like it's great. It's like, oh, you don't like me? Okay, like go and suck it. Like I don't know what to tell you. Why wouldn't you like me? I'm it's gonna sound so weird, but like I really am a genuine person.
Talk your shit. Like
if you don't like me, then something's wrong with you, to be honest. Like I don't harm people. I bring a lot of positivity and smile into the room. And if you don't like me, something is wrong with you. And I wish you the best, honestly. Like I hope you find help but
too bad because the best just walked away. So there you go. I always love that line. I will always say that line, but to everyone, because it always is true. It's just like, you can't be the best out of like, and I think it's such a trap when you're just trying to be like, I'm gonna be the best at whatever, and it's just like, be the best you. That's it. Like you can't
be you.
Yeah. Like,
because at the end of the day, we're in a competition with ourselves. That's it. And people always, I always say this to everyone, even to people that I mentor. People are going to talk shit. They're always going to be talking about you. So you might as well make them talk a lot of shit because they're jealous of what you're doing. So don't let them stop you from greatness. And also don't let yourself stop yourself from greatness. Because
I would tell you, drop that mic right now, but that's an expensive mic. Yeah, bam. There you go.
No, seriously. I mean, this is such an out of comfort moment for me. I mean, even before we started recording, I was stressed out. I was like shaking here, you know, cold partially, but also just like stressed out because I've never been in that setting. You know, I talk a lot in front of a camera. You see me all the time, but just being in that setting and knowing that I'm going to be on a different channel and different people are going to see me and what are they going to think about people. My crazy hair? But, no, but shut up. Manifest that shit. We're going to blow up. Are you kidding me?
There we go. See?
Yeah, the only way.
This is why she could be a part 2.
Oh, we can have a whole conversation about that. Like, you need to definitely already own it. And that's when universe gives it to you. But I do believe, you know, just getting out of your comfort zone is the only way to grow, you know? And I want to thank you for this, honestly, because this just like it's re-inspired me and gave me like this kick in my ass. Like, hey, you can do so many more things, Paulina, like go after it, you know?
Goddamn right.
But I was stressed out. I was like, holy shit, I'm going to be on camera. Like, what the hell? People are going to think about me. I don't care. Like, I hope you guys enjoyed, obviously. But if you don't, then there's other podcasts you can go and enjoy. And I'm going to, you know, be okay.
Go suck a dick if you don't like this one. Yeah.
I'm not that mean, but so funny. Well, I can't wait for part 2.
Yeah. This is going to be fun to edit. I'm going to enjoy it every second.
Let's get it.
Let's go. All right.
Thank you so much.
Of course.
Bye, guys.
Later.